kitchen's hot. What, Essie? I said the kitchen's awful hot. Those new candies I'm making just won't ever get cool.
Do you have to make candy today, Essie? It's such a hot day.
I have all those new orders. Ed went out and got a bunch of new orders.
My, if this keeps on, I suppose you'll be opening up a store.
That's what Ed was saying last night. But I said no. I want to be a dancer.
The only trouble with dancing is it takes so long. We've been studying such a long time.
Well, only 8 years. After all, Mother, you've been writing plays for 8 years, and we started at the same time, didn't we?
Yes, but you shouldn't count my first 2 years because I was learning to type.
I think the candies are hardening up now, Miss Essie.
Oh, thanks, Reba. I'll bring some in, Mother. I want you to try them.
Finished with the second act, Mrs. Sycamore?
What?
Are you finished with the second act?
Oh, no, Reba. I just got Cynthia entering the monastery.
She was at the Kit Kat, wasn't she?
Well, she gets tired of the Kit Kat Club, and there's this monastery, so she goes there.
Well, do they let her in?
Yes. I made it Visitors Day, so of course anybody can come.
Oh.
So she goes to this monastery and just stays.
You mean she stays there all night?
Yes. She stays 6 years.
6 years? My, I bet she busts that monastery wide open.
6 years later.
Mr. DePina?
Yeah?
Mr. DePina, would you bring up one of those new skyrockets, please? I want to show Mrs. Sycamore.
Sure!
Hey, look, Benny. What do you think of these little firecrackers we just made up here? We can sell them 10 strings to a cent. Here, listen. Whoa! Nice, huh?
Yes. Paul, dear, were you ever in a monastery?
No. Anyhow, wait till you see this new skyrocket we made up. Gold stars, and then blue stars, and then bombs, and then a balloon. Mr. DePina thought of the balloon.
Sounds lovely. Did you do all that today?
Sure, we made up, oh, here we are. Hey, we can make these for 18 cents and sell them for 50. How many do you think we can make up before the 4th of July, Mr. DePina?
Well, we've got 2 weeks yet. Now, when do you want to take the stuff up to Mount Vernon?
About a week or so. We're going to need a larger booth this year. We've got a lot of stuff made up. Anyhow, we're not through yet. Come on.
Look, Mr. Sycamore, I'm afraid that the powder chamber is just a little too close to the balloon.
Well, we get the stars and the bombs in between.
But that don't give the balloon time enough. And the balloon needs plenty of time.
Come on, let's go downstairs and try it out.
All right.
Mr. DePina, if the girl you loved entered a monastery, what would you do?
Oh, I don't know, Mrs. Sycamore. It's been so long.
Miss Oz gonna be home to dinner tonight, Mrs. Sycamore?
What, Reba? Oh, I don't know, maybe.
Well, I'll set a place for her, but she's only been home one night this week.
Yes, I know.
Miss Essie's making some mighty good candy today. She's trying something new with coconut.
Uh-huh, that's nice.
Let's see, 8, Donald, and Mr. Kollenkoff. That makes it 10, don't it? Yes, I better set it for 10.
Reba, I think I'll put this play away for a while and go back to the war play.
Oh, I always liked that one, the war play, huh?
Oh, no! Boom!
Ooh. Try one, Mother. They'll be better when they're harder, but I want to know what you think.
Oh, they look lovely. What do you call them?
I think I'll call them Love Dreams.
Yes, that's nice. I'm going back to my war play. Essie, what do you think?
Where are you, Mother?
I sort of got myself into a monastery and now I can't get out.
Oh. Well, it'll come to you. Remember how you got out of that brothel? The snakes look hungry. Has anybody fed them?
I don't know. Rita, did you feed the snakes today?
No, but Donald's coming, and he usually brings flies with him.
Well, can you please feed them before Grandpa gets home? You know how fussy he is about them.
Sure.
Oh, and can you take Groucho and Harpo to the kitchen with you? They'll be hungry after their nap. Believe I'll have another love dream.
Well, like Mr. Pinner was right about the balloon. It was too close to the powder.
Would you like a love drink, Father? They're on the table.
No thanks, I've got to watch it.
I'm going back to my war play.
Ah, that's great. I know. Put some red stars in between the bombs, and then the balloon. That ought to do it.
You know, Mr. Kolenkov says I'm his most promising pupil.
You think with 40 monks and one girl that something would happen.
Essie! Essie!
Oh, Ed, I like it. Did you write it?
No. Beethoven.
Oh, it's lovely. I made those new candies this afternoon. Can you take them around this evening?
Sure. Now, here's the finish. Oh, this is me.
Oh, that was fine. Will you remember it when Kolenkov comes?
Ed, dear, why don't you and Essie have a baby? I was just thinking that the other day.
I don't know. We could have one if you wanted us to. How about it, Essie? Wanna have a baby?
I don't care. I'm willing if Grandpa is.
Okay, let's ask him.
Labor play, religious play, sex play. I know it's here someplace.
I was right about the balloon. It was too close to the powder.
Oh, Mr. DePino, need anything printed, Mr. DePino? How about some more calling cards?
Oh, no thanks. I've still got the first 1,000.
Oh, well, call on somebody, will ya?
All right.
Ooh, what have we got for dinner tonight, Reba? I'm ready to print the menu.
Oh, let's see. Cornflakes, watermelon, some of these candies with sesame, and some kind of meat I forget.
Meat. I think I'll set it up in a full-faced Cheltenham tonight. No, if I'm going to take those new candies around after dinner, I better print up some descriptive matter.
Do you think anybody reads those things, Ed, that you put in the candy boxes? Oh, here's the war play. Poison gas. I guess that's Donald. Oh, look at Reba smile.
The boyfriend, eh, Reba?
Oh, they're awfully cute together, Donald and Reba. Sort of like Porky and Bess.
Hello, Reba. Evening, everybody.
How are you, Donald?
Pretty good, Mr. Ed. How are you, Miss Sycamore?
Very well, thank you. Donald,
Yes, ma'am.
were you ever in a monastery?
No. I don't go no place much. I'm a relief.
Ah, yes, of course.
It's a prize, Reba. Caught a big mess of them today.
Oh, you sure did.
I see you've been working, Miss Sycamore.
Oh, yes, indeed, Donald.
How's Grandpa?
Just fine. He's over at Columbia this afternoon. The commencement exercises.
My. The years certainly do roll around, don't they?
M-E-A-T.
Say, Penny, what's he go there for all the time?
I don't know. It's just so handy right around the corner.
Hi, Donald. Say, Mr. DePina and I are going to go up to Mount Vernon in about a week or so. We're going to bring up fireworks there. Care to give us a hand?
Yes, sir. Only I can't take no money for it this year because if the government finds out I'm working, they'll get sore.
Oh. Hey, say, Ed, I had a great idea in the bathroom just now. I was reading Trotsky. Yours, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. I left it there.
Who is it?
Trotsky, the Russian Revolution.
Oh,
Anyhow, I thought it'd make a great idea for a fireworks display. Remember the last days of Pompeii?
oh yes, Palisades Park. Oh, that's where we met.
I was thinking of doing the revolution. A full-hour display.
Say,
Oh, that's wonderful.
The red fire is the flag.
And the Tsar, and the Cossacks.
at the freeing of the slaves.
No, Donald, the Russian Revolution. Hi, Grandpa.
Yes, sir. You should have been there. That's all I can say. You should have been there.
Was it a nice commencement, Grandpa?
Oh, wonderful. They get better every year. You don't know how lucky you are. You're snakes. Hello, Donald.
Hi, Grandpa.
Big class this year, Grandpa? How many were there?
Oh, must have been 2 acres. Everybody graduated.
Yes, sir. And much funnier speeches than last year.
You want to hear a good speech? You should go hear Father Divine.
Ah, wait. They'll have him at Columbia.
Donald, could you go please and ask Essie and Reba and let them know that Grandpa's home now and we won't wait for Miss Alice.
Grandpa's home. We can have dinner now, Reba.
Wait till you see the new skyrocket we made up, Grandpa.
Oh, evening, Grandpa.
Oh, Mr. DePina.
Didn't we make a great new skyrocket, Mr. DePina?
We certainly did.
Why are there no fireworks at commencements?
Ah, don't make enough noise. Now, you take a good commencement order and he'll draw out a whole carload of fireworks and say just as much.
Don't the graduates ever say anything?
Ah, no. They just sit there in their cap and nightgown, get their diplomas, and then along about 40 years from now, they say, where am I?
Hello, Grandpa. Have a nice day.
Hello, have a nice day. Don't I even get a kiss?
Excuse me.
I'll take the tomato. I could use a couple of these this afternoon.
Father.
No thanks.
Mother.
No thanks, dear.
Play something, Ed.
Okay.
Oh, there was a letter came for you, Grandpa. Did you get it?
A letter for me? I don't know anybody.
It was for you, though. Had your name on it.
Funny. Where is it?
Oh, I don't know. Mother, where's Grandpa's letter?
What, dear?
Where's the letter that came for Grandpa last week?
I don't know. I remember seeing the kittens on it.
Who was it from? Did you notice?
Yes, it was on the outside.
Well, who was it?
The United States government.
Really? I wonder what they wanted.
Well, there was one before that, too, from the same people. There were a couple of them.
Well, if any more come, I wish you'd get them to me.
Yes, Grandpa.
I think I'll go out to Westchurch tomorrow and do a little snake hunting.
God is the state. The state is God.
What's that?
God is the state. The state is God.
Who says that?
Trotsky.
Oh, that's all right. I thought you said it.
It's good for printing. You know, good and short. G-O-D space I-S space T-H-E space.
And so the beautiful princess came into the palace and kissed her mother, her father, her grandfather.
Hello, darling.
Hello, Grandpa. And what do you think? They turned into the Sycamore family. Surprise? Oh, Alice, I like it.
Oh, do you?
It's new, isn't it?
It looks nice and summery.
Where'd you get it?
Oh, I took a walk during lunch hour.
Ah, you've been taking a lot of walks lately. That's the second new dress this week.
I just like to brighten up the office once in a while. I'm known as the Kay Francis of Kirby and Company. Well, what's new around here in the way of plays, snakes, ballet dancing, or fireworks? Dad, I'll bet you've been down at that cellar all day.
I'm going back to the war play, Alice.
Oh, really, Mother?
And bring that Beethoven that you wrote.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you could send a letter all the way from Nicaragua now for 2 pesetos.
Kenneth, my virginity is a priceless thing to me.
Listen, people, listen. I'm not home to dinner. A young gentleman is calling for me.
Oh, is it? Well, isn't that something?
I did everything possible to keep him from coming here, but he's calling for me.
Why don't you both stay to dinner?
Oh, no. I want him to take you in easy doses. I've tried to prepare him a little already, but don't make it any worse than you can help. Don't read him any plays, Mother. And don't let a snake bite him, Grandpa, because I like him. And I wouldn't dance for him, Bessie, because we're going to the Monte Carlo Ballet tonight.
He didn't have to do anything. Who is he? President of the United States?
No, he's Vice President of Kirby and Company, Mr. Anthony Kirby Jr.
The boss's son.
Well,
The boss's son, just like the movies.
That explains the new princess.
Did not been going to dinner for 3 weeks.
My Sherlock Holmes!
are you going to marry him?
Oh, of course, tonight. Meanwhile, I have to go up and put on my wedding dress.
Oh, is he good looking?
Yes, in a word. Oh dear, what time is it?
I don't know. Anybody know what time it is?
Mr. DePinna might know.
It was about 5 o'clock, a couple of hours ago.
Oh, I ought to know better than to ask you people. Will you let me know the minute he comes, please?
Of course, dear.
Yes, I know, but I mean the minute he comes.
Why, of course.
Well, be sure.
So what do you think of that?
You seem to like him, if you ask me.
I should say so. She's got it bad.
Wouldn't it be wonderful if she married him? We could have the wedding right in this room.
No, Ping, this is the first time he's called for the girl.
You only called for me once.
Young people are different nowadays.
Well, I don't know. Look at Ed and me. He came to dinner once and just stayed.
Anyhow, I don't care. I think it's wonderful, don't you, Grandpa?
It certainly seems to be happy about it.
Oh, he must be crazy about her. Or maybe he's the one who's taking her out every night. There he is. Oh, I'll answer it. Now remember what Alice said. Be very nice to him.
All right. Let's take a look at him.
Well, welcome to our little home.
How do you do?
I'm Alice's mother. Do come right in. Here we are. This is Alice's grandfather. And that's Alice's father. And Alice's sister. And her husband, Ed Carmichael. Well, give me your hat and make yourself right at home.
I'm afraid you must be mistaken.
How's that?
My card.
Wilbur C. Henderson, Internal Revenue Department.
That's right.
What can we do for you?
Doesn't Mr. Martin Vanderhoff live here?
Oh, yes, sir. That's me.
Well, Mr. Vanderhoff, the government wants to talk to you about a little matter of income tax.
Income tax.
Would you mind if I sit down?
No, just go right ahead.
Thank you.
Mother, is that Mr. Curry?
No, it isn't, dear. It's an internal something or other. Pardon me.
Mr. Sycamore, oh, excuse me.
What is it?
These things are not going off. Look.
Wait. No, wait. Grandpa's busy.
Oh,
Pardon me.
Now, Mr. Vanderhoff, we've written you several letters about this, but have had no reply.
Oh, that's what those letters were.
Oh, I told you they were from the government.
According to our records, you've never paid an income tax.
That's right.
Why not?
I don't believe in it.
You own a property, don't you?
Yes, sir.
And receive a yearly income from it
I do.
of between $3,000 and $4,000.
About that.
And you've been receiving it for years.
I have. 1901, if you want the exact date.
Well, the government's only concerned from 1914 on. That's when the income tax started.
Well,
Well, Mr. Vanderhoff, it seems you owe the government 24 years back income tax.
Oh, no. Wait a minute. You can't go back that far. That's outlawed.
What's your name?
What difference does that make?
Ever file an income tax return?
No, sir.
What was your income last year?
$28.50. Right, Essie?
Yes, sir.
If you'd please. Now, Mr. Vanderhoff, you know there's quite a penalty for not paying an income tax.
Penalty?
look, Mr. Henderson, let me ask you something.
Well,
Suppose I pay you this money. Mind you, I don't say I'm going to pay it. But just for the sake of argument, what's the government going to do with it?
how do you mean?
Why? What do I get for my money? If I go into Macy's and buy something, there it is. I see it. What's the government give me?
The government gives you everything. It protects you.
What from?
Well, invasions. Foreigners that might come here and take everything you've got.
I don't think they're going to do that.
If you didn't pay an income tax, they would. How do you think the government keeps up the army and navy? All those battleships?
The last time we used battleships was in the Spanish-American War, and what did we get out of it? Cuba. And we gave that back. I wouldn't mind paying it. I wouldn't mind paying if it were something sensible.
Sensible? What about Congress and the Supreme Court and the President? We've got to pay them, don't we?
Not with my money, no, sir.
Wait a minute. I'm not here to argue with you. All I know is you haven't paid an income tax and you've got to pay.
They've got to show me.
No, we don't have to show. I just told you. All those buildings down in Washington and interstate commerce and the Constitution.
The Constitution was paid for long ago, and interstate commerce. What is interstate commerce anyhow?
There are 48 states, see? And if it weren't for interstate commerce, nothing could get from one state to another. See?
Why not? They got fences?
No, they don't have fences. They've got laws. My God, I never came across anything like this before.
Well, I might pay about $75, but that's all it's worth.
You will pay every penny of it, just like everybody else. And let me tell you something else. You will go to jail if you don't pay. That is the law. And you think if you're bigger than the law, you got another thing coming. You are no better than anybody else, and the sooner you get that through your head, the better it is. You will hear from the United States government. That's all I can say.
Now, watch out for the snakes.
My God!
How was that, Essie?
That was fine.
How did that sound to you folks?
I liked it.
My goodness, he was mad, wasn't he?
It's not his fault. It's just that whole thing is so silly.
He forgot his hat.
Say, what size is that hat?
7 and an 8.
Just right for me.
Say, who was that fellow anyway?
This must be Mr. Kirby.
Better make sure this time.
Yes, I will. How do you do?
Good evening.
Is this Mr. Anthony Kirby Jr.?
Yes.
Oh, well, Mr. Kirby, we've been expecting you. Do come right in. This is really Mr. Kirby. Now, I'm Alice's mother, and that's Mr. Sycamore, and this is Alice's grandfather, and her sister Essie, and Essie's husband. There. Now you know all of us. Give me your hat and make yourself right at home.
Well, thank you.
Is that Mr. Kirby, Mother?
Yes, it is. He's lovely. Oh, do sit down, Mr. Kirby.
Oh, thank you. I hope I'm not keeping you from dinner.
Oh, no. Have a tomato?
No, thank you.
How about a piece of candy?
No, thanks.
Oh, I forgot to introduce Mr. DePinna. This is Mr. DePinna, Mr. Kirby.
How do you do? Wasn't I reading about your father in the paper the other day? Didn't he get indicted or something?
Oh, hardly that. He just testified before the Securities Commission.
Oh!
Yes, of course. I'm sure there was nothing crooked about it, Mr. DePinna. As a matter of fact, Alice has often told us what a lovely man your father is.
Well, I know Father couldn't get along without Alice. She knows more about the business than any of us.
You're awful young, Mr. Kirby, aren't you, to be vice president of a big place like that?
Well, you know what that means, don't you? Vice president? All I have is a desk with my name on it.
Is that all? Don't you get any salary?
Well, a little. More than I'm worth, I'm afraid.
Oh, now you're just being modest.
It sounds kind of dull. Wall Street. Do you like it?
Well, the hours are short, and I haven't been there very long.
Just out of college, huh?
Well, I knocked around for a while first. It just sort of had fun.
What did you do? Travel?
For a while. Then I went to Cambridge for a year.
England?
That's right.
Say, what's an English commencement like? Did you see any?
Oh, very impressive.
Oh, they are, huh?
Well, now the fun's over and I'm facing the world.
Well, you certainly got a good start. Vice president and a rich father.
Well, that's hardly my fault.
Now I suppose you're ready to settle down and get married.
Now, hey, I'm sure Mr. Kirby knows his own mind.
Oh, I wasn't trying to make up his mind for him, was I, Mr. Kirby?
That's quite all right, Mrs. Conrad.
You see?
You wasn't rushing, Mother.
Well, all I meant was he's bound to get married. And suppose the wrong girl gets him.
Well, here I am,
Oh.
a vision in blue. Apparently you've had time to get acquainted.
Yes, indeed. We're just having a delightful talk about love and marriage.
Oh dear, I'm sorry, I came down as fast as I could.
I didn't mind in the least.
Grandpa, do you take cream on your cornflakes? I forget.
Half and half.
Oh, Miss Alice! Oh, you look wonderful!
Oh, where are you going?
I'm going out, Reba.
Oh, stepping, huh?
Tony, this is Reba, and that's Donald, Reba's boyfriend.
That must be Mr. Kolenkoff.
I think we better get going, Tony.
Yes, sir, Mr. Collins.
Good evening, everybody. Grandpa, what do you think? I read a letter from Russia. The second 5-year plan is a failure.
I practiced today, Mr. Kolenkoff.
My Pavlova.
Well, if you'll excuse us, Mr. Kolenkoff.
My little Alice. Never have I seen you look so magnificent.
Thank you, Mr. Kolenkoff. Tony, this is Mr. Kolenkoff, Essie's dancing teacher. Mr. Kirby.
How do you do? How do you do?
Will you pardon us, Mr. Kolenkoff? We're going to the Monte Carlo Ballet.
The Monte Carlo Ballet. It stinks.
Well, goodbye.
Carlo Ballet.
Isn't Mr. Kirby lovely? Well, come on, everybody. Dinner's ready.
Well, I thought he was a nice fellow, didn't you?
He's very good looking.
And he had such nice manners. Did you notice, Paul? Did you notice his manners?
Certainly did. You were getting pretty personal with me.
Oh, now, Paul. Anyhow, he's a very nice young man.
You know, he looks like a cousin of mine.
Box the ugly. Then you had the ballet.
I think if we have the wedding here, I'm going to put the altar right where the snakes are. You wouldn't mind, Grandpa, would you?
Not if the snakes don't.
Oh, that's a church wedding for sure.
I like a church wedding.
Quiet, everybody, quiet. Well, sir, we've been getting along pretty good for quite a while now, and we're certainly much obliged. Remember, all we ask is to just go along and be happy in our own sort of way. Of course, we want to keep our health, but as far as anything else goes, we'll leave it to you. Thank you.
And of course his family's going to want to come. Imagine Alice marrying a Kirby.
It's exciting, isn't it?
Music for it.
Oh!